Welcome into our Eagles Now post-game show. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making our post-game show a part of your night. The Philadelphia Eagles, one of three teams in the NFL that is still undefeated, joining the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. Final score at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, 25-11, and there is so much to talk about with the Birds here in the aftermath of this victory. And really, my overall takeaway of the season up to this point is this, is that the Philadelphia Eagles have played C, B- football, yet are still 3-0 to start the season. And there's been no Super Bowl hangover for Philadelphia as far as the wins and losses go. And because the Eagles' schedule does get pretty difficult in the middle portion of it, it was really important for me and paramount, to be honest with you, to start fast. And that's what Philadelphia has done. And what I love about the Eagles here is that despite them not playing their best football with new coordinators, offensive coordinator Brian Johnson calling the plays for the first time in his NFL career, and Sean Desai calling defensive plays for the second time in his NFL career, the Eagles are still undefeated up to this point. So from that main takeaway to my second, it's just the overall domination that we saw from the Eagles tonight in a potential trap game with the Commanders coming up next week and a battle of two 2-0 teams. But clearly the Eagles were able to outclass the Buccaneers. And that's the takeaway that I have, that throughout the course of a 60-minute ball game, the Eagles were able to suffocate the Buccaneers. And when they needed to come through with the back-breaking drive to take your soul like they did last week against Minnesota, they did it again this week against Tampa. And you look at the difference in numbers here. The Philadelphia Eagles defense gave up 174 total yards. That is 4 yards per play for Tampa Bay. Passing-wise, Baker Mayfield, 15 of 25, 133 yards, and he threw his first interception of the season. The Eagles forced 2 turnovers tonight, 1 fumble forced by Jalen Carter, another interception by Reed Blankenship. First turnovers of the season for Tampa Bay. Rushing-wise, the Eagles' rushing defense continues to be fantastic. And remember last year, the Eagles, in an emergency situation, had to sign Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph because their rushing defense was getting gashed week in, week out. That's been a difference between Sean Desai and Jonathan Gannon, and props to Jonathan Gannon because the Cardinals are playing good football. 17 carries for 41 yards. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Fletcher Cox, Marlon Tuipulotu, who had a sack tonight. The entire bunch of interior defensive linemen for Philadelphia, they've been bringing it with the pass rush, but also against the run. Those 2 turnovers that I talked about, 1 pick, 1 fumble, time of possession for Tampa Bay, 21 minutes. So take like a visual capture of this, because the Eagles, this is the overall domination that I was talking about. They give up 174 yards of total offense to the Bucs. They gain 472 yards. Passing-wise, Jalen Hurts, 23 of 37, 271 yards. Rushing, 40 carries for 200 yards. Second consecutive game in which Philadelphia has rushed for more than 2 bills, once again led by DeAndre Swift, who the Eagles surrendered a 4th and a 7th round pick for. He eclipsed the century mark. The Eagles, this is a little bit of an issue. Time of possession, great, 38-21, but when they got in the red zone, they stalled, and Jalen Hurts was not good. Now, A.J. Brown, I thought, dropped both of the touchdown opportunities, which hurt me in my bank account because I took him as an anytime touchdown scorer. 2 opportunities to reel in a touchdown catch. He dropped them, but Hurts in this offense did struggle when the field was condensed, when things got a little bit tighter inside the red zone. That is an area that certainly needs to get better for Philadelphia. And the 2 turnovers for Hurts. One I thought was a miscommunication, intercepted by Devin White. He threw it as if DeAndre Swift was going to stop. Swift broke inside. The other one, it was just an excellent play by the DB on a deep shot to Devontae Smith, in which the safety came over and made a tremendous play. Speaking of great plays by safeties, how about Sidney Brown and the range that he showed tonight on a pass play breaking up a touchdown potentially to Mike Evans, range over from safety. He was in for Justin Evans, who was out for this game because of an injury, and those are the instinctual things that I'm talking about when I discuss Sidney Brown. A lot more takeaways to get to, but first, today's post-game show sponsored by AG1. I drink AG1 literally every single morning, and it sets the foundation for the rest of my day. If you want to optimize and prioritize your health, there's one answer. That's affordable, and it tastes great. That's drinkag1.com/chatsports. You use that link down below. You get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. That's 5 free travel packs, a year's supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients in one small scoop of AG1. And the benefits of daily use. Things that really benefit you on a daily basis if you're looking for longevity in life and just looking for yourself to become a healthier person. Promotes gut health. It supports immunity, boosts your focus as well as your energy. I like to take AG1 in the morning, either before my workouts to give myself a little bit of energy or after my workouts to replace what I lose when I sweat it all out. If you're in search of a comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition option, plug in that link, drinkag1.com/chatsports. We'll put that link in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. So the things that I love about this win as we continue to move forward here, Eagles defense giving up barely any yards. The run game was dominant once again. The Eagles pass game finally showed signs of life. And in the first 2 games going into Monday Night Football, that really wasn't the case. This Eagles passing attack was very stagnant. But again, new offensive coordinator, same scheme, but new wrinkles to it. Could they start to find a groove tonight? Jalen Hurts, despite the 2 picks, 23 of 37, 277 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt. DeAndre Swift, 16 carries, 130 yards. The running game certainly aids the passing game, but through the air, A.J. Brown got going. 9 catches, 131 yards. Olamide Zaccheaus. There were 2 plays on one of the Eagles scoring drives in which Jalen Hurts made tremendous plays. And we're talking high-level quarterback plays where he senses the pocket breaking down or he senses that he needs to stick within the pocket, going through his progressions, and got the ball out just in the nick of time. And it happened really 2 plays on the same drive. There was a play in which Hurts able to buy some time and then throw the ball to the left sideline, layering that ball in there to Zaccheaus. And then for the touchdown throw, which was a really beautiful throw and catch, 34 yards, Hurts surveying the field, looking, and bought just enough time as he took a hit to throw Olamide Zaccheaus open for the score. And I talked about Zaccheaus a lot throughout the offseason. Like, I thought he could have been an upgrade over Quez Watkins. Watkins out tonight because of a hamstring injury, didn't practice all week. With Watkins, he has the speed element. He's always good in training camp as well as in the preseason, just never displays it seemingly in a game consistently. Zaccheaus, though, St. Joe's prep guy, just like DeAndre Swift, seems to have a good feel, very good game speed, 2 catches, 58 yards. I'd like to see him as more of a part of this offense moving forward. And some people were making this point after our watch party that the running back by committee approach should be all but done. With what Swift did tonight, with what he did against Minnesota, there is a clear gap in talent between Gainwell and Swift. Swift should be the number 1 back. Now, I understand the Eagles' thinking here is that while he hasn't missed a lot of games, he's been somewhat brittle and injury-prone in his career, trying to keep him fresh. But my man averaged 8.1 yards per carry. The explosion, the speed, the balance, the power, the home run ability, it is there with Swift. And I just want to see special players get the ball a little bit more. Now, with him picking up all those yards and the average yards per carry being 8.1, and with Hurts being able to find Zaccheaus on 2 of those plays, the offensive line protection held up in pass pro, oftentimes tonight. They were great in establishing the run as well. So the Eagles' offensive line brought it. I'm just talking about the difference in talent here. Now, Gainwell had some good moments, had some good carries, 14 carries for 43 yards for Kenneth Gainwell tonight. and he's a good rotational back. My point is that Gainwell doesn't really do anything that's necessarily all that special. Some more things I want to talk about. Britton Covey, he heard the noise, he heard the pressure, he was good. First 2 punt returns were great. He had a 52-yard return early in this game, and the first one was also good. That was the second return, the one that went for 52 yards. That was the shiftiness. That was the speed. That was the elusiveness that we saw at Utah. And Michael Clay, special teams coordinator, said the one thing that really stood out about Covey was he's gotten better with understanding the game speed at the NFL level. And sometimes it just requires patience. And the game speed seemed to be felt a little more with Covey, especially on that 52-yarder, where he allowed things to develop downfield, blocks to develop downfield, and was able to pick and choose his spots for his cuts, for when to accelerate, for where to go. So that's a good sign if the Eagles special teams unit is starting to pick it up a little bit. Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is a legitimate player in this league. And the jump that he has made from year 1 to year 2 is dramatic and drastic. The impact that he can have on a game, it's felt, it's seen. He can break down the pocket as a pass rusher. Against the run, though, at 6'6", 340 pounds, a special blend, him and Jalen Carter, who had a fumble forced tonight. A special blend of size, athleticism, and quickness for their size. To have 2 young defensive tackles like that, that's tremendous. Reed Blankenship had an interception to Baker Mayfield tonight. Mayfield was looking to the left, went center on his read. Blankenship read his eyes the entire way. He seems to be a very instinctual player. He picked off Deshaun Watson, 3 times in 2 joint practices. It seems like he starts to get a good feel of the game, and then from that, he's able to make some really big plays. And then on the injury front, Justin Evans ruled out. Landon Dickerson did not return because of a knee contusion. The Eagles defense had a big stand in which Nicholas Morrow shot the gap, attacked it. When you talk about the Eagles linebacker play, I think the Eagles linebacker play has been pretty solid up to this point, considering Nakobe Dean being injured early on this season, but then kind of like picking up players on the scrap heap. Nicholas Morrow, Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham was very active, and then Morrow really shot the gap for that safety to tackle the ball carrier in the end zone after the Jalen Hurts interception on that good play made by the safety. So those are my takeaways from this football game. The Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. And Chip and I were talking after the watch party, like they're 3-0 despite not having played their best football. The rest of the league better take notice of what the Eagles are doing here because they're a physical team, they're athletic, they can beat you down, and they can win in a variety of ways. Please make sure you subscribe to the show to show us some love. We were able to pick up about 1,000 new subscribers during our watch party. Baker Mayfield's doing his post-game press conference right now in a Rondé Barber jersey. I will never forget that NFC Championship game because I felt as though I got kicked in the balls at the time as a kid. But the Eagles able to get that revenge and end a 4-game losing streak to Tampa Bay. And what's also impressive here is that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, 12-1. in their last 13 road games. So if you want information like this, takeaways, news, analysis, hit that subscribe button. Thanks to everybody who tuned into our watch party, another one in which we surpassed 120,000 subscribers, and we'll catch you tomorrow here on the show.